Hey everybody, welcome back to another video here on my channel. If you don't know, my name is phoenixrokni. I am a new indie author. I published recently my very first debut novel, which is called The Fall of Magic. It is the first book in the Masterscore series, a series that will be rather extensive and that I am currently working very, very hard to fulfill and bring to life. I've never really done a video like this before where I talk about my journey as an author. I did a previous video where I just introduced myself as an author. So I'm not going to do a lot of that today. If you're interested, you can check that out for yourself. I would like to start some discussions here on my YouTube channel, not because I think that I'm necessarily the subject matter expert to share this information. I'm just a guy who wanted to tell stories and got through publishing my first book. And along the way, there were a lot of things that I had to figure out, that I had to learn. And if any of what I've learned can help any other authors to bring their own works to life, or just help anyone in general to bring any creative endeavor, any artistic element that they want to be able to express to life, and I can offer something that will help with that, then I just hope that these videos will be valuable. So if you have questions or any follow-up questions, feel free to leave them down below. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about a question that a member of our community Discord brought up in the past week. And this comes from Edith over on the Masterscore Discord. If you are up for suggestions of topics, I would also love to hear about how you overcame the worry of other people not wanting to read what you put out, if that's something you experienced, or worries of not being able to do your story justice the way you see it in your head. I feel the first one's easier for me to answer, and the second one is maybe a little more complicated. So we'll talk about the more complicated one. Worrying about not being able to do my story justice in the way I see it in my head. I absolutely have felt this way before. It's something that I feel I am in constant opposition with, or am feeling challenged by. And I think that's because I'm not an author who's been doing this for 10, 20 years. I don't have 10 books behind me. I didn't go to college to learn the art of crafting stories and storytelling and writing. But I do think the idea of being able to do my story justice the way I see it in my head, for sure. I would absolutely say that in book one, I'm still very pleased with the story I told. And I still don't think there would be a lot I would change. There's little bits and pieces I would change. I think in 10 years, right, or X amount of books in the future, when I get done with the series, I already know I'm coming back and I'm doing just an expanded definitive edition of book one, giving it all the bells and whistles of my experience as a writer, having done this a long time. You know, that addressing that worry, I don't know if that worry is ever something I'm ever going to be satisfied with. I think that I just have to do the best job I can with the tools and the skills and abilities I'm currently equipped with, and not look back, be proud of what I did, and give it my best shot. My goal with the very first book I wrote was to write a good book the first time. Not a great book, not the best book I'm ever going to write, but a good book that people would enjoy, that I would be able to enjoy, or my family could enjoy. So the other question, overcoming worry about people not wanting to read what I put out. And is it something I experienced? I would say I have experienced it to a degree. I don't know if that's a worry that's been really high on my list. My goal was, I want to ensure that I told a story I'm proud of, that I can find the people the story is for. So that's the way I'm built. Not everyone's built that way, and I recognize that. I just wanted to get, and maybe it's the artist problem, I just wanted to get the stories out of my brain and onto paper. I've been working on the world building and the story around the people in the world of Oro since roughly 20 years ago. And, you know, I got to a point where I came across this quote one time, and it hit me really hard. And the quote says, it's by Les Brown, who's a motivational speaker. It says, imagine you being on your deathbed, and standing around your bed are the ghosts of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, but you never acted upon. And there they are standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, We came to you, and only you could have given us life. Now we must die with you forever. And for whatever reason, when I read that, it hit me so hard, deep to my core. And I realized from my artistic mind that regardless of who liked it, regardless of who it was, these stories were meant for, because they're not just meant for me. And I believe that. In a lot of ways, I believe I'm the person that these things came to, and I'm the one lucky enough to put them out there, to claim their creation and to share them. But ultimately, the people that all enjoy the story and feel that immersed in it, in a way, it belongs to us all, doesn't it? I read that and I felt a deep need to get them out of my brain and onto paper, if not only for that reason, but also for my own sanity. So there you go, Edith. Thank you for sharing your question. So for any other writers out there, or for any of the people that are creatives that found that useful, I just, I hope that helps someone, even if it's just one person. Ultimately, it's yours. It's your art. It's your creative work. You've got to focus on telling the story you want to tell, and you can't always worry about whether everyone's going to like it or not. And I stand by that. And not everyone likes my first story, and plenty of other people still won't. And that's okay. My focus is finding the ones that it is meant for. So if you're here, hopefully that's you. And if you haven't checked that out, who knows, maybe this video will be a reason you do. Feel free to join our Discord. Thanks so much for being here for the discussion. And I definitely welcome your comments below. And also pardon my voice. I'm a little raspy today. Farewell, everyone.